Well, this is the first episode, kind of introductory video of the Redbud Porch. This is going to be kind of like a homestead and renovation channel. We've got a lot of animals. This right here is Pork Chop.
Pork Chop, say hi.
This little Pork Chop. You probably can hear him purring. She purrs a lot. Anyway, basically we're just there's endless things to do inside and outside of this house. Our house was built in 1923. It's got extremely good bones. It's been held up real well, but it's just been neglected as far as don't put 18 layers of wallpaper and then paint over the 19th. The 19th layer is paint. Don't do that, and just stuff like that. So we've got a lot of wallpaper to peel off the walls, and we got to fix underneath the cabinets and basically redo each room of the house as we go along. So our plan probably is to start with the room that we're in right here, which is the dining room. All the rooms in this house are really big. Because it's a 1923. It's a true farmhouse, so it's laid out kind of nifty. The rooms are really large. The kitchen and the dining room and the bedrooms are all really big. So you've got plenty of room to work.
We wanted to invite you guys in to come see our farmhouse and help us renovate it as we go along, along with our animals.
How many animals do we have?
We have 2 dogs, Ashby and Esther. We have 16 chickens. Whenever you're ready. And 5 kittens.
Where'd the kittens come from?
The kittens came from, we started feeding a stray cat that I named Sebastian because I thought it was a boy. I have a thing where I think any stray animal is always a boy. And we were feeding her, and then one day, Sebastian got ran over. And we then found out later that Sebastian was in fact a Sebastiana, because across the street there are 2 rundown greenhouses, and there was 3 kittens found in there. I was propagating some plants on the front porch, and when we heard their little meows, and then a day or 2 later we heard 2 more, and they were in the shop back near the shop on our property. And so that's how we ended up with 5.
The land across the street with the greenhouses used to be owned by the same people that owned our property. And the gentleman that owned our property he really liked gardening and all this kind of stuff. So he had 2 greenhouses across the street from us. And that's where the kittens were at. Unfortunately, we weren't able to buy that property. It actually had already sold before we bought our property. So I think there's a couple that's supposed to have already built a house over there by now. I low-key hope that they never do, because I really like looking out from our front porch at the deer and turkey and stuff over there. But
these little kitties were so tiny. Whenever we got them, we had to bottle feed them. And we're their only parents that they know, and they mean a lot. They're very mischievous. They'll get into anything and everything. I had a plant over in the window that they killed this morning.
Tell them their names.
So this is Pork Chop, obviously. We named her Pork Chop because, well, she was the heftiest. She was always a ham. And, if anyone's ever seen Toy Story, Dr. Professor Pork Chop, and that's where Pork Chop came into play. Pork Chop has a calico-esque sister, and she's very, very spicy. So we named her McCormick, like the spices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are 2 solid black cats One is male, his name is Otis, and the other is female, and her name is Cecilia. And then the other cat that looks similar to Pork Chop but has a little bit more black on her chin, her name is Screamo, but her official name is Gabriella. We called her Screamo because she would not stop screaming. And the entire time after we got her, she just would not stop screaming. But that's our kittens.
And then Ashby and Esther are both rescues. Ashby, who looks, she's kind of, we'll show you pictures. Well, I'll show you pictures of the kittens when they're little, and then we'll try to throw in some pictures of the animals too. But Ashby, she looks kind of like a raccoon dog, like mixed with a beagle, maybe some lab in there. I'm not sure. And then Esther looks very much like a golden retriever, but she's not either. They're both mutts basically, but they're the best pups you can have. Ashby I found in the middle of the woods up near Suches, Georgia. We live in North Georgia, but I go camping whenever I can, and I was in Suches with my friend Brian, and he told me he saw this dog. And then, long story short, I got Ashby. All right, so her name is Ashby Suches McGee. That's her legal name.
The third Esquire.
Yeah, the third Esquire. And then it was just before Christmas, right?
Christmas Eve.
It was Christmas Eve. We were coming back to this house, so we bought this house in October of 2024. And on Christmas Eve, we were coming back home, and we saw Esther out there at this intersection that we have to go through every day. And we thought she was really old. She looks like an old dog, so we decided, like, we can't leave this pup here on Christmas Eve. So we got her, brought her home. Turns out she's younger than Ashby, and she's way bigger than Ashby. She's a real big dog.
It is important to note, we did check to make sure that Esther had no owner. There was no one that claimed her. Someone actually had dropped her off earlier that day. So that is important to note. We do check to make sure our animals have owners before.
Ashby was abandoned. I mean, she would have had to been driven out to where she was at. Where I found her at was on top of a mountain at the closest paved road was like 10, 15 miles away. And then once you got to that road, there wasn't any houses. So somebody purposely dropped her off. And then this intersection where we found Esther is a very common area that people drop animals off, unfortunately. So we do our best to get all the animals that we can, but most of our money goes towards feeding the animals, our bills, and our mortgage. So we don't have like unlimited money. But we've done our fair share here so far since we've lived here to hoard up animals that we didn't have before. We came here with Ashby.
Ashby's the OG.
And now we've gotten all these other ones since we came here. So, let's see. This room right here that we're in is the dining room. It's got 2 layers of wallpaper for sure, possibly 3. The kitchen has at least 3 layers. The bedroom has 2 layers, and the top layer's been painted. And then there's some random wallpaper that they left on the walls in the hallway. The walls are actually in really good shape. There's a little bit of spackle work that needs to be done. It's not crazy, just a little bit. I don't even know if we ever did formally introduce ourselves. This is Brittany, and I'm Wyatt. And we do have, and that's Pork Chop, and we have plans on doing a lot of videos on inside and out, and gardening, and chickens, and dogs, and cats, and we probably will end up with something else. I low-key want a cow. We've got a little over 3 acres here. There's actually legitimate room to have a cow, but we can worry about that all down the road. There's a well house that needs to be built. We need to build the summer kitchen building out there. It needs a new roof on it. And that's also / the chicken coop. The shop is, it's fine, but it needs some stuff done over there just to dress it up. It's in perfect condition. But there's just endless stuff to do, little things to do. There's some stuff I don't have any clue how to do, but we're going to learn how to do it. And other stuff I know how to do, so you might learn something too. But also it'll give you an idea, like if you really want a vintage house, this house is over 100 years old. the kind of stuff you're going to run into. These walls aren't insulated. There's not a single wall in here insulated. There's a little bit of attic insulation that's stamped down about the thickness of a dime. And strangely enough, that's not our biggest problem. Like we can get that straightened out eventually. The big problem is our heat and air system is mixed up. So the outside unit is a completely different brand, model, year, everything from the upstairs in the attic unit. And so our power bill last winter was over $600 several months in a row. But here in the summer with the AC running all the time, it's like under 200. So, we've got to figure that out. We got to put a wood burning stove in. There's endless crap to do, and way more than we have money for. But we're just going to try to piecemeal it together. And then also Brittany does a lot of crafts. She's learning how to quilt and sew and crochet and all kinds of stuff. So you might even see some of that every now and then.
Quick side note, I made that quilt back there that you can probably see in the frame.
Oh, yes, and this footage is probably going to be a little grainy. I actually have other YouTube channels, but that's a different thing. I film those outside, so I don't have any of the lighting required to film indoors. And so we're going to get some of that as we go along to make it easier for indoor filming. So just bear with us on that. We hope the audio quality is at least decent because it does echo a little bit. But anyway, Pork Chop's about to tear the camera down. And we're going to probably do some more filming tonight of tearing down some of this wallpaper in here. But until then, we hope you enjoy. We hope you like this kind of stuff. We've got plenty more to tell you about ourselves and our house, and there's a lot of things we don't know about our house. We don't know who built the house originally.
Yeah, there's many things that we want you guys to come along with us and share ideas, share your stories. We're very much into sharing stories and just having a good time. Mm-hmm. But we'd like to welcome you to our Redbud Porch.
Yeah, buddy, get it. And we'll show you the other kitty cats in the next videos. So we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the porch.
Have a good day. Yeah.